Today, I want to tell you something that can change the way you see yourself and the way you live your life. There are certain things in life you should never do, and I'm here to share with you the 5 things you should never do for a man. Never do this for a man. These 5 secrets are not just rules, they are boundaries. They are lines that protect your worth, your heart, and your future. When a woman forgets these lines, when she sacrifices everything she has, her dreams, her voice, her respect, her value, she doesn't just lose a relationship, she loses herself. And that is the most painful loss of all. Loving someone is not wrong, but love does not mean you give up everything you are. Love is not about breaking yourself into pieces just to keep someone else whole. If you give away your power, if you give away your dignity, if you give away your own identity, thinking that this will save your relationship, you are making the biggest mistake of your life. Because the truth is simple. A relationship only survives when you protect yourself first. Ask yourself this: do you really want to live a life where your respect is gone? Do you want to erase your identity and exist only in someone else's shadow? Do you want to silence your own voice and bury your own dreams just to keep someone happy? No. Deep down, you don't want that. That's why these 5 things are so important. Remember this: a man never values the woman who gives him everything and leaves nothing for herself. He respects the woman who knows her worth, who stands by her boundaries, and who refuses to trade her dignity for anyone's approval. These are the 5 things that will protect you. These are the 5 secrets that will save you from heartbreak. These are the 5 rules that will remind you of how priceless you really are. So, let today be the day you write this truth into your heart. There are 5 things you should never do for a man. Never do this for a man. If you forget these 5 things, you will lose yourself. But if you live by them, you will find your true power, your true respect, and your true freedom. The first mistake too many women make is giving up their voice. When you stop speaking your truth, when you silence your own needs just to avoid conflict, you are slowly erasing yourself. A man will never truly respect a woman who hides her real feelings just to keep him comfortable. Your voice matters. Your words carry weight. If you give up your voice, you are teaching him that your silence is normal, that your feelings don't count. And once you do that, he will never see the depth of who you are. Never give away your voice for a man, because the moment you do, you begin to lose your power. The second thing you must never do is sacrifice your dreams. Your dreams are the fire inside you, the very thing that gives you direction and purpose. If you give them up just to fit into someone else's plan, you will wake up one day and realize you don't even recognize yourself anymore. A man might love you, but if he truly respects you, he will want to see you shine in your own path, not just walk behind his. Never let your dreams die in the name of love, because real love will never demand that of you. Another thing you should never do is lower your standards. The standards you hold are not just expectations, they are the reflection of your self-worth. When you accept disrespect, when you allow lies, when you settle for less than what you deserve, you are telling yourself that you are not worthy of better. And that is the biggest lie you can ever believe. A man who values you will rise to meet your standards. If you lower them, he will only go lower. Never give away your standards for a man, because the right man will respect them, not test them. The fourth mistake women see and often make is putting themselves last every single time. Yes, love is about giving, but if you always give without receiving, if you always pour into, destroys it. Your voice is powerful, your truth is necessary, and your heart deserves to be heard. Never give up your voice for a man, because the right one will want to hear every word you speak. Too many women also believe that love means fixing a man. They pour themselves into changing him, healing him, guiding him, even when he shows no effort to change on his own. But love is not about becoming his savior. It is about walking side by side with someone who also chooses to grow. Never take the heavy burden of fixing a man, because the moment you do, you lose the chance to grow for yourself. Another trap is when women ignore the little signs because they are afraid of the truth. The late replies, the sudden coldness, the broken promises. They see it, they feel it, but they pretend it's not happening. They tell themselves, it's just in my head. But those signs are whispers of your intuition, and if you ignore your intuition long enough, you will end up in deeper pain. Never ignore the signs. For a man, because your heart already knows when something is wrong. And sometimes the deepest mistake is forgetting your own worth. A woman gives and gives until she has nothing left inside. She pours from her cup until it runs dry and then wonders why she feels so empty. But love was never meant to drain you. It was meant to fill you. Never let yourself forget your worth for a man, because when you know your worth, you will never again settle for less than respect, loyalty, and true love. There is another mistake women make when they believe that their happiness depends only on a man. They think if he loves me, I will be happy. If he stays, I will be complete. But happiness was never meant to be borrowed from someone else. Happiness is your own responsibility, your own creation, your own journey. When you tie your joy to another person, you give them the power to control your emotion. Irons like a switch, on and off. Never hand over your happiness like that. The right man will add to your joy, but he should never be the only source of it. You are the one who builds your life, and your happiness must first come from within. Many women also sacrifice their boundaries in the name of love. They allow behavior they said they would never accept. They forgive things that should not be forgiven, and they stay quiet when respect is taken away. But love without boundaries is not love. It is control. It is imbalance. It is slow destruction. Boundaries are not walls. They are doors that protect your heart, your peace, and your dignity. Never tear down your boundaries for a man who refuses to honor them, because the man who truly values you will never make you cross the lines you set for yourself. There is also the mistake of comparing yourself to other women just to keep a man's attention. Some women change the way they look, the way they act, even the way they think, because they feel they are not enough. But you are not in competition with anyone. Real love is not about comparison, it is about connection. If you keep reshaping yourself to look like someone else, you lose the beauty of who you already are. Never fall into the trap of comparing yourself for a man's approval, because the right one will see your uniqueness as your greatest gift. Another painful mistake is forgiving over and over without change. Forgiveness is beautiful when it is deserved, but forgiveness without change is just permission for the cycle to continue. Some women forgive lies, betrayal, and disrespect because they are afraid to lose the man they love. But the truth is, every time you forgive what is unforgivable, you lose a piece of yourself. Forgiveness is powerful, but it must be followed by growth. Never let your kindness become a weakness that keeps you stuck in pain. And finally, the biggest mistake of all is losing yourself completely for a man. When you forget who you are, when you bury your dreams, silence your voice, break your boundaries, and give up your... Most men have no idea how close they are to being deeply desired, yet completely overlooked. Not because they're not good enough, but because they don't understand how sexual obsession works in a woman's mind. This video is not about manipulation, tricks, or pretending to be someone you're not. It's about understanding female psychology so deeply that you naturally trigger desire. Desire so intense she thinks about you even when you're not around. Desire that makes her crave your energy, your voice, your touch, even in silence. And if you've ever felt invisible, like you're doing everything right, being nice, showing interest, being available, but still not the man she chooses, it's not because you're lacking, it's because you've never been taught what actually creates sexual obsession in the female mind. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to make any woman obsess over you sexually, or, if you prefer, how to become the kind of man she wants to give her body to without begging, chasing, or changing who you are. But first you need to understand what's been silently ruining your chances. Even when you think you're doing everything right, let's start now. You think being available will make her like you more. It actually makes you predictable. And predictable men don't create desire, they create comfort, and comfort kills sexual tension. Most guys are constantly trying to prove they're safe, respectful, a good guy. But the truth is, women don't become obsessed with safety. They become obsessed with emotional intensity. And if you don't know how to create that, you'll always be the one she texts when she's bored, not the one she imagines late at night. Here's the hard truth. When you're always there, always texting, always ready to hang out, you eliminate mystery. You eliminate space for desire to grow. She needs to feel like she's earning your attention, not like you're throwing it at her for free. Women want to feel the high of being around you, not just your presence but your energy. And energy comes from tension, contrast, challenge, not sameness. You're not boring. But if every conversation you have is flat, safe, and predictable, she'll categorize you emotionally. And once you've been categorized, it's almost impossible to escape it. Do you know why she obsesses over that one guy who doesn't treat her right? It's not because she loves being hurt. It's because at some level he makes her feel something she can't control. Excitement, frustration, uncertainty. That mix is addicting. And if you don't know how to trigger that mix without being toxic, you'll keep losing to men who understand the tension of seduction better than you. Even subtle things matter, like how you look at her. When you look at her like a man who wants her without apologizing for it, she feels it. When you speak with deliberate tone, depth, and calm power, she feels it. Sexual tension isn't created by the words you say, it's created by how you say them. And when you can say the most innocent sentence, but her mind starts twisting it into something deeper, now you're planting thoughts she'll never forget. Before we dive into exactly how to create that kind of obsession, just do one thing for me. Hit the like button. If this is already hitting something real, what's coming next will hit even harder. Let's keep going. Let's get into how to make her sexually addicted to you. Sexual obsession doesn't start with your body. It starts in her mind. The goal isn't to impress her. It's to make her feel something she hasn't felt in a long time. That dangerous, exciting, unforgettable energy. Start with how you talk to her. Your voice alone can unlock fantasies she didn't know she had. Lower your tone slightly. Speak slower from your chest, not your throat. Do. And rush. Let your words linger, like you're building tension just by being calm. Women feel energy. And if your energy says, I'm in, worth, you become a shadow of the woman you once were. But you were not born to be a shadow. You were born to be light, to stand tall, to live boldly, to shine with your own power. Love should never cost you yourself. The greatest gift you can give a man is not your sacrifice, but your true self. And the greatest love you can ever experience is the one where you don't lose who you are, but become even more of who you were meant to be. So let this be the truth that stays with you. Never give up your dreams. Never silence your voice. Never erase your worth. Never lower your boundaries. And never forget who you are, just to keep a man. Because the man who truly deserves you will never ask you to do these things. Protect your heart, value your soul, and hold on to your power, because that is the kind of love that will last. The kind of love that is real, and the kind of love that will never require you to lose yourself.